Welcome to Living Local After Dark. We are in the group chat with myself, Karina Delgado, and the hostess of the show, Charisse Gomez.
Just a co-host.
No,
One of three.
I've got my producer hat on this week, so
Yes.
I am not on the show on Living Local.
How's
DMV.
producing feeling?
This was my first day.
Yes.
Cross training.
Yes.
So it's very interesting. So as our audience knows, I also engineer my own radio show in the morning for 94.7 The Drive. And so a lot of it feels very familiar.
Yeah. Timing, keeping the show on the tracks.
What a lot of people don't know is before you were the executive producer and host of Living Local DMV, you actually used to be in the master control room as well.
Yep.
For
I was
CNN,
producing at CNN, MSNBC, local ABC. All the letters.
Oh my! Look at my boss. Let me tell you about my boss's credentials. Let me tell you about his credentials, honey.
All the letters, but I had to get out of the control room. It's a lot of cursing that goes on in there. My innocent little ears.
It is a little bit of a locker room.
I like
guess.
it.
Yeah,
I
like
love
it
a
too.
control room.
It's very. I was like, oh, this is very familiar, like
Bro
territory.
territory. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. But it's interesting, and I'm glad to be learning the ropes. So I think it's important to know how to do every facet
Swiss
of
Army
the
knife.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I
And
mean,
you're already a Swiss Army knife and a unicorn, what they call in the business.
oh, I don't know
You
about
are.
that. I mean, Swiss Army knife for sure.
Yes. You are a sparkly unicorn, Karina Delgado, with a beautiful sparkly horn. A unicorn in the business. They don't make them like you anymore. They don't make them like you anymore.
I don't know about all that. But we did kind of get into that conversation earlier this week when we were talking about this article that was in the Washington Post, and it was about Tony P. And we were talking about influencer fame and the whole nine. There was also an article in Fast Company about the fade of influencer culture.
I want to talk about it.
Yeah, let's.
I want to talk about it. I was telling you and Ellen, we did the deep dive on the Tony P article, which was Washingtonian, and they entitled it "Tony P Hates You Too,"
which is very clever.
Very clever, very clever. And they talked about how Tony Pocari, who is a local influencer and now TV personality, how he has a disdain for his followers who make fun of him, ridicule him, bully him in the comments, but that's still his base right now, and that's how he's making his cash. But I went home and listened to the audio version, which you said you listened to as well, and I walked away and I felt very sad, melancholy for him.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, and I've said this, I don't know if I've said this publicly, but I feel like a lot of on-air personalities, we all have some childhood trauma, some attention deficit issues. And I'm not talking about paying attention. I'm saying people paying attention to us. Some mommy issues, some daddy issues, you name it.
Yeah.
And if a lot of media personalities, influencers, went through therapy and being realizing, would be honest with themselves, probably went into the business for, different reasons. Of course, the passion of storytelling.
Yeah.
But also hanging on to the approval of viewers or followers or just being able to be visible on air. So there was a lot of deeper things that went into that article. And I would love to break bread with Tony. Anthony Pocari, I want to talk to you. I've got...
Yes, come on our show, sir.
Yes, I want to talk to you. We've got some mutual friends. We gotta look around and see how we can get Anthony. We're going to call him Anthony. His government name, because Tony P, I feel like, is a persona.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Anthony Pocari.
Yeah, who he is on the inside.
Yeah, because I felt like I could see myself in a lot of little Anthony or AJ, where they talked about his friends calling him AJ. So I want to talk to AJ. Tony P, stay at home.
Yeah.
I want to talk to AJ. So very interesting article. You listened to it in depth. What resonated with you?
I would say the same feeling that you took away from it. A little bit sad on his behalf, although, where he was like initially wildly successful and he was making money like hand over fist, money that most of us couldn't even imagine, honestly, even with, having, like for myself, like over 20 years in broadcasting industry, and I've never even touched the hem of the garment of
that was a big number.
$500,000.
Yeah, that's a big number.
And I'm not counting anybody's coins, but that was the number that was put out there in the article. And even with, 5 jobs and, at the height of my, career, I've never even come close to that number.
The height of hustle.
Yeah, the height of hustle. I've never come close to that number.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, it's like you kind of like clutch his pearls a little bit because like, damn, I've never made that much money. And influencers are pulling in that kind of coin. But to the point that I made when we were talking about it on the show is that the vulnerability and for the attention deficit, to use your term, is if you live by their validation and their approval, you will die by their rejection. And I myself am like very, very sensitive when it comes to criticism and things like that online. Like sometimes I'm like, well, I'm glad I only have my little schmiddle, this many followers, and even though I'm not making $500,000, I mean, I don't know, maybe for $500,000, maybe I would have thicker skin.
I think it can be purchased. I think it's for sale.
It might be for sale.
This kid could thicken up a bit.
Yeah. I don't know, but I definitely want to get into the conversation about influencer culture and the article. So let's go to break real quick and then we'll circle back to this conversation because I think that there is a deeper dive there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. You are watching Living Local After Dark. We're in the group chat on Living Local DMV. Don't move. Welcome back to Living Local After Dark. I'm Karina Delgado, and this is our hostess of the show, Charisse Gomez.
Stop saying that, Karina Delgado. We are a trio. We are a trio.
Ma'am.
It's like, nobody without the group. We are a group.
Ain't nobody coming to see me.
We are the heartbeats. No,
it's like Diana Ross and the Supremes.
No, it's not. It's not. It's the Powerpuff Girls.
I did not know that.
It's the Powerpuff Girls. Nobody says Blossom and the Powerpuff Girls. It's the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
I am nobody without the trio.
Well, I want it to be known, and I shout this from the rooftops always. Like, I'm always like, let me introduce you to the executive producer of our show because I think it's important to be said. And you are the host. You are the primary host of the show.
Am I?
Yeah.
I
don't know if they told you that. That's what they told me when they hired me.
I just go by what the checks.
But I think you should own it. You should really own it, especially as a woman of color in a position of power in an industry that is
which you don't find in this market.
Yeah, which is primarily male dominated. I'm always really proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm like, here's our fearless leader.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This show, I always say, is my first baby. Living Local DMV. Living Local After Dark is like my third cousin.
Yeah.
No, still a baby. No, this is like my third baby. But I accept that. I receive that. Thank you so much.
Receive it because it's not only is it not an easy job, but it's I've never aspired to manage others. Like that is not my ministry.
I don't like it. I've taken on the role and I was like, you know what? I think the hard part is when you like the people you work with.
Yeah, it's hard.
And you don't ever want to blur lines, and it's tough. And I've been
because
in that
these
position.
are the people you spend your entire life with.
Yes,
really. Like most of us, like you go home to a family, but before I was here for within the last year and a half, as it's been. Like this past year, you and Ellen are the people that I spend the most time
face to face
in my my life. Because when I'm on the radio, I'm by myself in that studio. That's a one-woman show. I know a lot of radio shows in this market are an ensemble, but the morning drive is just me in there.
Yeah,
and I don't have a producer. I'm the producer.
Yeah,
I'm doing everything. So before I came here, I wouldn't talk to anyone all day.
Yeah, face to face.
Yeah, face to face.
Yeah,
and then I'd see you guys on Thursdays, maybe sometimes twice a week if I had a booking or something like that. But my interaction with humans was very limited.
And that's face to face interaction. I only want to stress that because I know so many people who listen to your show and have such a deep connection to you and relationship to you. So you are in their cars, you're in their homes, and sometimes the only connection they have is to you, Karina. So I said, that is your ministry.
That's true. Yes.
That is your ministry.
And
yes.
we have fun. That's why I always say on that show, like, especially if I'm in a place of like deep depression or something like that, or I'm going through it, I always tell myself, like, when I want to call in or stay in bed and not get under the covers,
the people need you.
Well, I just tell myself, go play with your friends.
Oh,
Go play with your friends, and then we just have fun.
You've seen my friends who will fangirl. They hear your voice. I remember one of my husband's good friends. Hey, Colin. He was like, you know Karina Delgado of The Drive? And you met him in person one time. He's like, oh, she has the voice. It's her. I was like, we weren't lying. We know Karina Delgado. This is her. He's like, it's really you. He completely fanboyed. And he was like, and still to this day, he's like, you guys know Karina Delgado? I'm like, I know. It's my biggest bragging point.
Well, I think you and I have been able to find like the secret sauce, like the fine line of being completely authentic on air, and then keeping a little bit in the reserve tank that's just for our families. But we don't have to get on the air and pretend to be somebody else.
Yeah.
And
all those people are taken.
Yeah.
I don't need to be those people.
But to the point you were making a moment ago, you were saying that you think perhaps Tony P and AJ are two different separate personalities.
I think so. I think he's admitted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that is like one protects the other?
I think it's a persona. And I would love to ask him this. They interviewed his friend and said, I don't know who this Tony P is. Oh. And he was like, I know Anthony Pocari, which is AJ, and you know, the kid from school who, you know, wanted to be cool or whatever, you know, went through a divorce with his parents, all these different things. And I think at some point when you are ready to reinvent yourself and you're ready to probably jump out of that more guarded personality or persona, you become someone else. And that's the same thing with Beyonce having her
Sasha
alter ego.
Fierce.
Yeah. Having that alter ego. And I think I've done the work. You've done the work. We talk about going to therapy of, you know, trying to meet that persona of confidence, of, you know, not that shy kid or, you know, that self-conscious kid. And I think he created that persona on social media. Yeah. I don't think it's a lie. I think, you know, he is his authentic self, but I think...
But it's just a portion or a... Yeah, I could see that.
And just the same way I say, my husband will say, who you see on TV is not Sharice at home. Because Sharice at home is no hair, no makeup, no lashes, and quiet. And people are like, Sharice, quiet, reserved, submissive. What?
Yeah. I don't want to talk.
I'm all talked out.
Yeah.
And my husband is chatty at home, and at work he's super reserved. So it's like you kind of reserve that true you for the ones who are closest to you. So I think the same thing of him.
And you're allowed to be like not be in a good mood, or you're allowed to be sad, or
for sure.
You know,
no one's gonna judge me.
Yeah.
And if they do, so what? You live with me. This is what you get. You signed up for this.
Yeah.
That's you signed up for this. Yeah. So
that's true.
I don't know. The what were we talking about when we went to break? The whole situation makes me sad because I know, and I've been that kid where I wanted attention and I wanted validation. And as you mentioned, sometimes if you live by it, you will die by it.
Yeah.
But then I had to do some work on myself. And I'm like, if I get it, great. If I don't get it, great.
Oh, well.
Because I love myself.
Yeah.
And I've said this to you and Ellen this morning. I'm like, I had to really love myself to, you know, be at different weights and be on TV and be happy with it.
Yeah, that is a personal struggle for me. I struggle with that really, really deeply as far as like the weight fluctuation, and you know, until you get to be like a big age and you're going through a change in life, it's like you start to feel like you're a stranger in your body. Your body is betraying you, you know, a lot of those things. And so
100%.
It's complicated to grapple with, but I wanted to keep this part of the conversation going. So when we come back from break, I wanted to dive more into the separation of persona and influencer culture. So we're having a deep conversation inside the group chat here on Living Local After Dark. Stay with us. Welcome back to Living Local After Dark. I'm Karina Delgado. This is Charisse Gomez. We are inside the group chat, and we've been talking about this big article that came out in the Washington Post earlier this week. We were
Washingtonian. I don't want Washington Post to be like, that wasn't us.
That wasn't us.
Don't email us.
It was a great article, though, about influencer Tony P. He's well known and quite infamous in our area, and we were also dissecting an article on Fast Company that was talking about the influencer bubble being ready to pop, and kind of we were juggling both of those and how they honestly speak in tandem to one another. I think the part in the article with Tony P that really spoke to me was how he showed his vulnerability, and he was honest in saying, it does bother him, it does hurt his feelings. And here you have somebody that has that many, tens of thousands of, I don't know, maybe even, what does he have, like 500,000 followers or something like that?
Thousands, yeah.
And yet he's still, he's still human. He's
still very young too.
Yeah,
like I can't imagine being catapulted into the spotlight in my 20s.
Right. Yeah. And I think about it even like with all the therapy and all the life lessons that I've gone through, I'm still sensitive. People don't think about this, but we're often, we're harassed on our, not only our respective social medias, but on the show's
Group
social
page,
medias.
Yeah.
We're, cut down all the time. And fortunately, we're able to, often protect one another from those comments that come through.
We clap back.
Yeah. And then on each other's behalf.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that it hurts any less.
No. Not
and
at all.
I could really appreciate that part of the article because it really humanized him. And to your point, I think it would be interesting to have a heart-to-heart, not with the persona, but with the person.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, you and I both have a lot of disdain for influencers who are put in the seats of broadcasters, because not only are you here collecting up money that should go to people who are well qualified, but you can't do this job. Like, as we were talking about at the beginning of the show, I'm cross-training to work in the control room at this point. And that is not, influencers don't do that. Like, you're a social media personality. You're not back there engineering a board. So, I mean, I don't know. We talked about it, but one of the things that you said during the show was it's not personal.
It's principle.
It's the principle.
And I always say that because I would not want to put my mouth negatively on someone like Anthony Polcari when I've never met him, sat down with him, broken bread with him, gotten to know him. Just like I wouldn't want anybody to say Charisse Gomez is A, B, or C if they haven't gotten to know me. Yeah. Now, the principle of influencers taking broadcasters' jobs, let's talk about it all day.
Right.
But I can use him as an example, but not say this is, I'm vindictive against
him,
Anthony, Tony P. Yeah, I don't know him from a can of paint.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't want to. That's a Southern colloquialism, by the way, because everybody keeps saying, "What does that mean?" Ask your Southern auntie. Yeah. But I don't. It's not personal.
Yeah.
It's not personal because everyone keeps telling me, people who do know him, like Charisse, you would love him, and I'm sure I would.
I would say it's not personal for me against the individual or against the influencers, but I am very sensitive about my money, and when you play with my money, you're playing with my emotions, and that is personal for me. But my disdain is directed at management for putting those people in the positions that should be filled by broadcasters. Like, if you have an ensemble, I think it makes sense to perhaps
throw
have one in there, because they have eyes and ears, and especially if it's a lifestyle show or if it's
sports.
Like
I've seen it happen in sports. Yes, I've seen it.
So because people, they're influential, and to many people their opinion matters, but that does not make them the person that should be, doing the primary job. And then also, in my opinion, as a result, they shouldn't be paid more than those that are doing the actual job
and been classically trained, gone into debt to get the education.
And so my beef is with management.
I think my beef is even bigger than that. My beef is with society that has driven management to hiring these folks because management wouldn't hire if they didn't see value. And they see value because society is pushing.
Eyes, ears, metrics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just like the article said, that people are paying for your influence, your following, and your regular schmegular broadcaster doesn't necessarily have that influence and following.
That's so true.
That the influencer does. So I blame pop culture. I blame society. I blame social media culture because this was not happening in the 90s. This wasn't happening in the early 2000s.
True. Social media culture, yeah.
And I'm sure management would tell me, like, our hands are tied. This is the future. And it's like video killed the radio star.
Yeah.
And I feel like I learned about that in broadcasting school, everybody in journalism school.
Right.
And there were, musicians and jocks saying like, oh, MTV's killing the industry. Music videos are killing the industry. And I feel like we're saying the same thing, like influencers are killing the industry. And influencers just like, we're just existing. We're just doing our job. So it's principle. I can't blame the influencers. I can't blame management. I have to blame the shift in societal norms.
Yeah, I'm never, like I said on the show, I'm never going to knock the hustle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
they're hustling.
The game is to be sold, not to be told. Like, you're out there making your money. But guess what? Like, I'm going to come in, like, you want to get into my lane, I'm going to get in your lane too. So anytime people are like, oh, you want to come into this restaurant opening and do a little TikTok or a little reel about it? Not like, shoot. I'm just like, send me the RSVP. I'll be there. My meal is comped, right?
I'm very select about places I go because my child has started calling me the daycare teacher's name.
No.
Every once in a while, she will call me the daycare teacher's name. So I'm like, if y'all taking time away from Grace Gomez, it better be some dollars.
Some dollars attached. Yeah.
Some dollars attached.
Yeah.
So I think the hustle has fizzled for me only because I feel like what you give your time to is what is the priority. So that's what I have to say, Karina Delgado.
Yeah, I think, but I think it would be an awesome conversation. So, Tony P.
Anthony,
if you're watching.
Can I call you AJ?
Come on over.
We're going to make some phone calls. We know some mutual friends. We know some mutual
people.
Yeah.
Come on over.
We know people.
Have a conversation with us.
A little cup of coffee. I know you like Subway.
Yeah.
We'll get you Subway and a little salmon.
Come hang out.
We know what you like.
Yeah. Come hang out in the group chat on Living Local After Dark. Well, I'm glad that we got to like unpack this a little bit more because it was much deeper than simply like, we
hate you too, Tony.
Yeah, we hate you too. No, it has to do with it's more sociological.
Yeah. Well, honestly, Danny Gomez sees Tony P in the wild a lot, but he never speaks. But one day I'm gonna have Danny Gomez just like corral him. He always sees him at Subway. Like it's the same like. I don't know if it's a hill rat Subway, but Tony, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you on the show.
Well, thank you all for joining us here in the group chat on Living Local After Dark. Have a good night.